If you own a roofing business, chances are you've been burned by a marketing agency in the past. Maybe the results weren't there, the communication wasn't there, whatever the reason may be, it didn't live up to your expectations that were set in the sales cycle. And so today I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to work with a marketing agency, how to hire a marketing agency, and how to prevent that from happening again. Because believe it or not, there are actually good marketing partners out there for roofers. You just have to know where to look and what to ask to be able to differentiate the bad actors from the good agencies. The key to finding a good agency partner is in the prep work, it's in the research, and it's in the interview process where you are interviewing them. You should think of this as an employee for your business. A lot of people just kind of jump from agency to agency, grabbing onto every opportunity that they can and hoping something works, especially in the early stages of business where you don't have a huge marketing budget. You're really just trying to get something to work. And then even the bigger companies that we see keep trying all these different tactics and nothing really seems to stick and actually work in the long term. So you really need to take your time when making this decision, when selecting a partner. This isn't something to be rushed. This isn't something that you can just try something new every month and hope something works. And I'm actually going to start here at the bottom with these other points to consider. So let's actually just copy this and we'll bring it up to the top. This is all important stuff to know first before even getting on a call with a marketing agency partner. So I want to make it very clear that there are very few silver bullets, if any, in the marketing industry for roofing. There are new roofing companies being formed every single day. It's getting more and more competitive. You got private equity buying everything up at the top and trying to take over all of the channels. And so it's just getting more and more competitive. This is not something where you can just sign up, pay a couple $100s, and then get 50 leads a month, right? I would say expect to spend at least 6 months with whoever you choose to give them a chance to get traction and get momentum for you. If you're looking for somebody to just come in and just start generating leads right off the bat, especially if you've never done marketing before, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Every single channel has a ramp up period. Just about there's a couple that you can start getting leads in right away. It's really, really hard to scale to a higher number on those. I would say 6 months minimum if you're doing Google ads, meta ads, especially SEO, anything with AI. All these things are going to take time to start getting momentum. You have to test different things to see what's working, warm up all of these different algorithms to your brand. And the goal is to build a marketing faucet, something that you can just turn on and off that can deliver leads at will whenever you want. That takes time to build. So for our next agency, we're going to give them 6 months, and you have to be comfortable spending that amount of money for 6 months. If you're on your last few $1,000s as a new roofing company, don't go and do this. If you can't afford 6 months of an agency, then you can't afford an agency. You're going to have to put in some legwork on your own in that event. If you can and comfortably spend 6 months of agency expenses without seeing results, then you should do it. And you're at that level where you can invest in an agency. You're going to want to set a goal for your agency to hit in 6 months. And so you've got to say, I want to be seeing results XYZ within 6 months, or I will cancel. Set some kind of stipulations, make sure that they know that this is your expectation as a business owner. Because a lot of the problems that I see with agencies and roofing owners is not that they aren't doing the work, it's that you guys are just on different pages with what the expectations are versus what reality is. And so if your expectations are 50 leads month one, and they haven't done a good job of clarifying that it takes months to get to that point, then there's going to be a disconnect in expectations there. And so you're going to be unhappy. But if you're on the same exact page and you know how to work with an agency, and you know that it takes time and you're giving them a chance to hit your expectations, it's going to make for a much better relationship long term. You're going to want to find a agency that is specific to contractors, or better yet, works specifically with roofers. This is really important because if you're going with, the jack of all trades marketing agency, even if they're local specific, they're just not going to know the industry well enough to be able to consistently get good results for you. They might get results. There's plenty of agencies out there that can get results, but you'll find much better luck with a company that specifically works with contractors or roofers. Every industry has unique challenges, has unique things that they have to build out for it. And so if they're working with everybody, then that means that internally their systems are probably messy because they have to build out new systems for every single industry that they work with. And then they have just hundreds of systems that makes them extremely slow and inefficient. The last thing here is do enough due diligence before signing. Again, you're going to want to take your time signing with an agency. All of them probably have hard sell systems where they're trying to pressure you into signing up fast, but take your time, check case studies, check reviews, get a few different quotes for similar services, and get a feel for who you like the most. Ultimately, this is a partnership that you're getting into. And so you actually have to like the people that you're working with. All of these things will set you up for a good long-term relationship. You shouldn't be looking to hire a new agency every 3 months. You should be looking to give somebody a chance, give them up to 6 months to get results. If they are hitting your goals, continue to work with them and continue to set higher and higher goals to push them. You don't want to be churning agencies. The sooner you can find one that you can stick with for the long term, we're talking years, the better. So now let's just jump into some questions that you can be asking them on these calls. And so you always want to be asking questions. Again, this is an interview. You're interviewing agencies just like you would interview an employee. Strategy and fit, you want to make sure that they've worked with other roofing companies before. Ideal if they only work with roofing companies. Do you serve all industries? This just gives you a really good sense of how good they're going to be for your needs specifically. Just know if you work with a jack of all trades, they're probably not going to know your industry very well. You're going to want to get an idea of what tactics they're using specifically, the ones that work, SEO, Google Ads, social media. Get an idea of how they do it specifically and what separates them compared to other agencies in these areas. And then they should have a process in place for learning what your target market and service area is, how to appeal to that market specifically. Do a target audience analysis, and we make sure that we know exactly who you want to target, whether it's commercial or residential. What type of market you're in can dictate how to market to them. So this is an extremely important piece. You also want to know how they're going to handle the seasonality of your specific area. If you are in Florida and you have hurricane season, that's going to be different than if they're in Minnesota and you have the winter slowdown. You want to make sure that they can handle the seasonality of your specific area. You'd be surprised with how many agencies don't take this into account with their tactics. Again, it's usually the ones that aren't specific to home service contractors that aren't very good at that kind of customization to their strategy. All right. Transparency and ownership is very, very important. You want to make sure that you're holding on to your ads accounts, especially for Google. A lot of companies will set you up under their Google Ads profile. And so if you ever leave them, you lose all of your data and you lose all of your progress on your ads. You want to make sure that you own your website, your ads accounts, the content that is created. And so it's really important that you own that and that they're transparent about that as well. You want to make sure you're seeing your results in real time, ideally, or you're getting regular reports for them that are telling the results. And then you want to make sure that you're not getting locked into a long contract. Don't sign something for a year. A lot of the agency space has moved beyond long contracts. Plenty of agencies out here won't charge you for anything for like a year. I'd say like 6 months. Again, if they come in and they're saying like, hey, we have a 6-month minimum, that's fine, but don't do a full year. You just want to make sure that you can leave if things are really, really going south and not the way you expected them to. And again, I don't want to contradict that with the 6 months. You want to be working with them for at least 6 months. And then after that, ideally it's month to month. Reporting the results. This is important. This is probably the most important thing. You want to make sure that the marketing spend is being tied to actual jobs. You want to make sure that you have some key metrics that you're looking at that you care about every month. So clicks to the website, calls that are coming in, lead forms that are coming in. You want to know how often you're getting updates specifically. So are you getting an email every week? Are you doing a monthly call? Do you have a dashboard? What does that communication cycle look like? And then you can even ask to see a report from another contractor. This is really nice so that you know exactly what to expect from your reports. You want to make sure that the report is detailed enough. I've seen a lot of reports that just don't really have any useful information in them. make sure that it has, leads and traffic and progress on it. Okay, execution and support. This is you getting an idea of what the first 30, 60, 90 days are going to look like. You want to make sure that you know exactly what to expect when you're going to be meeting with them, who your point of contact is if you have one, what all goes in specifically to the execution of the campaign, how much support are you going to get from them directly. Contract termination policy kind of goes in with transparency and ownership, but you want to make sure that there's not going to be some huge bill if you want to terminate your contract with them. All right, pricing and performance. You want to know exactly what's included in your monthly fee. You don't necessarily need to ask for a itemized cost breakdown of things, but you can. You'll want to know if there's any additional costs for ads, software, tools. Be very clear on that. Some agencies will include the cost of ad spend, but others will not. And so you want to make sure that the fee does or does not include ad spend, software, and tools. If there's other things that you need to get. And just in general, like make sure you are very clear on what you have to uphold on your end. This is a two-way street. And so there's probably going to be a lot of things that you're going to need to provide for the agency to be able to do a good job for you. So this is not just purely they're doing all the work for you. There's certain things that you're going to have to do to uphold your end of it as well. Do you offer performance-based pricing or guarantees? Just get an idea of how the pricing works. And then how long does it take to see that ROI? If they're expecting this to take some time, maybe if you've never done marketing before and you're just now starting SEO or something, there's going to be a 3-month period where you're probably not seeing an ROI. So you want to know exactly how long it's going to take that to see that ROI and how they're going to prove that. Make sure that you have a full understanding on that a lot of times none of this stuff doesn't just happen week 1, right? Or month 1, that it could take a few months for it to ramp up and then start providing that ROI that you're looking for. I do have a full video also breaking down all the costs associated with marketing agencies depending on what tactic that you're using. So go check that out if you want to see the full breakdown of costs. These are just some tactics that you can use to be able to work with a marketing agency partner. You should be able to find a good fit for your business and find a marketing partner that actually can get results. So take your time with it. And if you're looking for a good partner, Contractor Clarity is one of them. So you're welcome to book a discovery call with us and we'll show you exactly how our system will work for your business in the description below. So check us out. But otherwise, have a great day and we hope to see you soon.